Welcome back, everybody. Coach Amanda Wright here. This channel is all about living a fasting lifestyle and different tools that you can incorporate in order to meet your health goals. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're interested in receiving updates. So this video is going to be about fasting and fitness and how to accelerate that with hydrogen water. And so I want to talk to you today a little bit about fasting, a little bit about fitness, a little bit about my story, and also a lot about hydrogen water today. And so let's jump right in. Okay. So let's talk about fasting first. Fasting is free. And so that's amazing, right? And so this is an amazing tool that God gave us, not only for spiritual reasons, so we can get closer to Him, get our prayers answered, that kind of thing. But this is actually a healing tool for our body as well. And so, what a blessing that God has given us this for spiritual and physical tools to use in our lives to make our lives better. Okay. So, the physical aspect of it is really great too, because you can use fasting to actually heal your body. You can use this for weight loss, you can use this for um, basically being able to think better. You can use this for more energy. So we're going to talk about the different lengths of fast and why you would want to do the different lengths of fast here in a little bit. But let's talk about what is fasting in the first place, okay? So fasting is when you don't eat food. You just generally will drink only water. Some drink also like unsweetened tea or unsweetened coffee, which I do, of course, because I'm a coffee lover. Some even will do what's called a fasted snack. And if you'd like a video about that, comment below fasted snack, and I'll be sure to do some videos all around fasted snacks and how that works actually in your fasting window. Because believe it or not, there are certain foods at a very small amount that you can have while you're fasting, which is really helpful when you're first getting started. So if you'd like more videos about that topic, go ahead and comment below. But in general, fasting is just no food at all. You're just drinking water. Okay. Maybe some tea, maybe some coffee, but no sweeteners, no creamers, none of that in general. Okay. So basically, it has different benefits for it. There's basically an article that you can find on intermittent fasting on the New England Journal of Medicine, where they talk about how it can benefit people and help people through things such as diabetes, cancer, recovery after accidents or surgery. So check out that out. Check out that article if you're interested in the science behind this fasting and how that can work. And that article is actually only talking about intermittent fasting, which is only 13 to 15 hours a day, which actually I believe anyone can get to that level because we're already sleeping 8 hours a day, right? If we're getting a good night's sleep, 8 hours a night, you're already fasting for 8 hours. Really, all you got to do is push it a little bit longer each week or each day until you can get up to that amount. So if you're already fasting 8 hours, sleeping while you're sleeping, then push your breakfast back an hour, maybe two, until you can get up to that 13 to 15 hour level. Okay. So basically, you can take it up from there. So 13 to 15 hours, you're going to get into that intermittent fasting. You're going to be able to get into a little bit of fat burning at that level. And there are some benefits associated with just intermittent fasting. And so, like I said, check out that article on the New England Journal of Medicine, and you can get some scientific data on fasting just as little as 13 to 15 hours a day can really help you through a lot of things. Okay. So the next step with fasting could be what's called autophagy fasting. Now, autophagy fasting is when you fast 17 hours. That's when the switch gets turned on for autophagy. And that's when your cells are in repair there. And it's basically when the cells start eating themselves and basically regenerating and things like that. And so this is when the body is really starting that healing process is at 17 hours. And that can go all the way up to 72 hours where you can still be getting autophagy benefits. Okay. So that dimmer switch is turned on at 17 hours. Now at 24 hours fasting, your body actually will your gut microbiome will actually get a total reset at that time. So that's really incredible for people who have been on birth control or people that have been on antibiotics and that kind of thing, which have just destroyed the gut microbiome. Then you can go ahead and work up to a 24-hour fast, reset your gut microbiome, and then replenish with things like sauerkraut or yogurt, kimchi to help rebuild your gut microbiome with the good bacteria, right? And so that is a really great fast to do. I recommend doing it at, once a week, is in general a good rule of thumb to go by. Once you're able to fast that long, just do that once a week. That way it'll keep your system and your gut cleaned up, because there's a lot of research going into what is basically going on in the gut can affect our brain. And so if your gut is not happy, your brain isn't going to be unhappy either. And so you really want to take some time to focus on your gut health. Okay. So after the 17 hours, the 24 hours, the gut microbiome reset, right? So the next step would be like a 36-hour fast. So a 36-hour fast is great. It's called a fat burner fast. And that is a sweet spot actually for people who are in weight loss mode. I used this fast when I was in weight loss mode several times, and it helped me to get unstuck. And that was so helpful in my weight loss journey to just do this longer fast and get over that hump. It's so frustrating when you get stuck and you can't get over that hump and you hit this plateau and it's just so hard. And the 36-hour fast can help you get unstuck and can really help you accelerate that fat burning mode. And so I recommend, if you're in weight loss mode, if you're still a cycling woman, keep this in your power phases. And the first part of your cycle is probably best. In general, a longer fast, I do better about day 3 of my cycle. If you're post-menopause, or if you're a man, and you've stumbled upon my channel somehow, then you can actually do this fast at any time. And so you don't have to do it at any certain time. Just work up to it, and then you can do the 36-hour fast. It'll be great for you. And then the next step would be a 48-hour fast, which would be a dopamine reset. So if you find yourself really anxious, depressed, overstimulated, that kind of thing, you can work yourself up to a 48-hour fast. This fast is great to do once per quarter, okay? And you can do this fast just to stay, once you get yourself back on track, you could just do this once a quarter. If you need to do this more than once a quarter, I do recommend talking with a coach. And if you are having anxiety problems and depression, I do really highly recommend getting some help for that, whether it be, some spiritual help, whether it be a life coach like myself. Just get in touch with somebody that can really help you through that. And especially if you're working on doing some longer fasts that are, more repetitive than recommended, it's a good idea to get some coaching help on that. Okay. And then after the 48-hour fast, the next level would be a 72-hour fast or a 3-day fast. Now, this particular fast is really incredible because you can actually reset your entire immune system with this fast. And you can get all new, brand new stem cells with this fast after 72 hours. And so this is really an incredible fast to be able to do. I don't recommend jumping into a 3-day fast right away. But what I do recommend is starting slow. And like I said, just pushing your breakfast back 1 hour, 2 hours until you can get to the 13, 15-hour range, and then push it up a little bit until you can work to the 17 and the 24 and the 36, just little by little. Like I said, it may take a few months for you to be able to fast for 72 hours. That kind of a fast, I would recommend that you have a Keto Mojo. So that way you can monitor your blood glucose and you can monitor your ketones, because you want to stay safe during your fast. You want to make sure that you're not feeling, overly, what's that word called? You're not feeling overly tired and exhausted and fatigued and just like you're going to fall out, and you want to really pay attention to your symptoms because they can keep you safe. Okay. But I highly recommend actually just getting a monitor and monitoring that if you're doing anything longer than a 24-hour fast. And I can put the link to the Keto Mojo down in the comments for you, so you could just grab one of those and make your life easier. When you start fasting, it's a good idea to check your numbers too and see, how is this food affecting me? In the beginning, you're going to probably be checking your blood sugar 3 times a day. just to see where you're at. And you're going to go through a lot of blood strips and ketone strips. So I would recommend getting, the larger kit. The basic kit I think it only comes with 10 ketone strips and 10 blood glucose strips. So I would recommend the higher kit. I think it's around $99 for that kit. It comes with more strips, and you're going to have a better idea of what's happening with your system if you're able to test more. And basically, you'll want to do this for a couple of weeks and just to see where you're at. Morning, noon, night, check and see where your blood sugar is at. If you want to see how a certain food is affecting your fast, or if you want to see, like I said, some actually like to put heavy cream in their coffee. If their fasting goal is actually weight loss, you're still going to be in ketosis with that. So you can check your blood glucose, make sure that it's not pulling you out of a fast. So if you have extra strips, you can test certain things like that to see how it's affecting your blood sugar. Now, if you are testing to see what is breaking your fast, if you're putting it in a cup of coffee, like, a little bit of heavy cream, then you're going to want to drink the coffee with the cream, test your blood sugar, drink the coffee, wait half an hour, take your reading again. If it bumped more than 10 points, then it broke your fast. If it's below that, it didn't really break your fast. You're cool. And basically, you're still in what's called ketosis or fat burning mode. So it's great. Okay. So anything over 0.05 ketones, you're in ketosis, and that is a great place to be. And so highly recommend that, fasting be a great tool to help you get into ketosis. Now, as women, we need to be going in and out of ketosis. It's not something that we want to be in all the time because our hormones during different times of the month actually require our insulin to be a little bit higher. And so it's really important that we're able to switch back and forth from sugar burner and fat burner. Okay. So from being in ketosis and being not in ketosis. But if you do eat, a lower carb, like a ketobiotic diet, as Dr. Mindy refers to it as, then it's going to be easier for you to get into ketosis and fast easier when your insulin is lower. Okay. So, but during hormone feastings, times during your cycle when, like around ovulation time, which she refers to as the manifestation phase or the nurture phase, like the week before your cycle starts. Those are times where your female hormones actually like a higher insulin during that time. And so you can actually eat more hormone feasting foods like sweet potatoes, any kind of potatoes you like. I personally enjoy sourdough bread during that time. Organic sourdough is best if you can find it. If you can make it at home, that's even better. So I personally enjoy those during my hormone feasting times. And so, but those, remember, are times if I am having a higher glucose, those are times I try to keep that to where I'm not really fasting. So I try to really do what I can to make it easier on my body. The path of least resistance, right? And so you want to give yourself the best benefit that you can to reach your goals and what you're trying to do. And so I highly recommend getting some help on that. If you don't understand all of the verbiage of that I'm talking about, it comes from the Fast Like a Girl book, Eat Like a Girl. I'll post some links in the description of this video. You can check those out, or feel free to just get in touch with me. I do have coaching sessions for $149. I can answer all of your questions. I can give you a plan of action, get you started in your first 30 days, and we can go from there. And I also have an accountability chat going. So I'll put the information for that down below as well if you need somebody to help you stay accountable to yourself and what goals that you are making for yourself. So us ladies are having a great time in that accountability chat. We're using it for things like making sure that we're getting our movement or our workout in for the day. We're meeting our water maximums. I'm using it to remind me to take my minerals every day. I don't know why I'm so horrible about that, but that's what I need to be held accountable for, is making sure I'm getting my minerals in. And so whatever you would need to use this accountability chat for to help you stay on track with your health goals, it's a great little tool, very affordable. And so reach out to me if I can help you with that. I'll leave the links down in the description of this video. Okay, so let's move on. We talked about fatness, good night. We talked about fasting. Now let's move on and talk about fitness a little bit, okay? So let's talk about different types of exercises that you can do around your cycle. So just like there's different foods that you should eat around the different phases of your cycle. There's actually different exercises that are best for you around different phases of your cycle. Now, if you have been super fit your entire life, you go, 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 and you're just a workout machine, you can pretty much keep doing what you're doing, and it's probably not going to affect your hormones because you're already really used to it. But I would recommend making sure that you're getting enough protein if you're doing this, and that you're also incorporating, some rest days, which I'm sure you already do. For those of us that don't really have fitness as like the highlight of our life, it's something that we just have to do. And so some of us are in a different phase of that fitness level. So what I recommend for us type of ladies is that we definitely mind our phases of our cycle as far as when we do the exercises. Okay. So the first part of your cycle, you can do, more heavy exercises, running, hit training, things like that. During your ovulation or manifestation phase of your cycle, which is the second part of your cycle, you're going to want to incorporate some heavy weights. Your body really loves to push itself during that time. And then after that, you'll hit another power phase. So you can do, again, some hit running. I mean, walking is always good, those kind of trainings. And then basically the last part of your cycle, you're going to want to do more relaxing things. Pilates, walking, stretching, things like that are going to be more beneficial for you. Some different things that I'm enjoying right now are walking. I take my boys on a walk every day, every morning. Something else I like to do is rebounding or doing a health bounce on a mini trampoline. And I also love doing Pilates. I'll link a video down below of one of my favorite beginner Pilates workouts. And then I also love doing like a 5-minute arm exercise for weight training. And so that's what I'm incorporating right now. It works well for me. And the reason it works so well is because I can split this up at different parts of my day. So in the mornings, I'm going for this walk. I might jump on the rebounder if I am awake early enough to do that before going on the walk. Otherwise, I could do that when I get back after I've gotten breakfast for my boys. And then I could do weights after dinner. And I can move these little exercises around in my schedule, but I can still incorporate them in. And so I have found that really helpful to do. Um, and what I'm doing is when I do go into my nurture phase is I'm cutting out the weights. Okay. And then next time I start and I'm in my manifestation or ovulation phase, that phase where the weights are really beneficial, I'm going to increase my weights on the next time. But for right now, because I'm in the nurture phase, right before my cycle starts again, I'm actually pulling back on the weights for this week and I'm just doing the walking and the health bounce or the Pilates. And so that's how I've been working with my fitness lately. And so you can take these ideas if you're new to exercise, new to movement, and you can try them out for yourself and see what you think. And these, like I said, the Pilates is like a 10-minute workout. The arms is like a 5-minute workout. I bounce on the little treadmill. Good night. I bounce on the little rebounder thing for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's a good little workout. And then just going walking. Walking is really, really great for you. So let's talk about the hydrogen water. What is it and how can it help accelerate what you're doing with your fasting and your fitness? So hydrogen water is basically water that has been infused with molecular hydrogen, which is H2. And why this is so great is because this amazing molecule has the capability of reducing oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. It literally acts as an antioxidant and can go in and basically stop this oxidative process. And so it's really, really, truly amazing. You can use this to basically boost autophagy. So when you're going for your 17-hour fast, this is going to help you boost that autophagy. It can help you fast longer because the hydrogen water actually can help regulate the ghrelin and leptin hormones, which are basically the hormones related to the switches that are turning off your hunger and turning it on, right? It can help regulate those hormones. And the hydrogen water, because it reduces oxidative stress and inflammation in the body, it actually can help you perform better endure workouts longer, and recover better afterwards. So, just to give you an example of this, how this hydrogen water has helped me, when I was training for my first 5K, I hurt myself so badly training so just extra hard that I ended up walking the first 5K. What a disappointment, right? Okay, so the second 5K I trained for, I actually was drinking hydrogen water then. I had found out about it and I drank it every several times daily. And I actually had no pain whatsoever. I um, was working out really just as hard as I was before. And there was a huge time gap too. So keep in mind that this training that I did this first time probably was not even in effect anymore by the time I was training for the second time because I really hurt myself. So this first time I really had to take a long break. And plus I was pretty discouraged after what happened. So I didn't get back on the horse right away. So the second time I did it, I actually felt no pain whatsoever. I was running up to 25 minutes with no problem. And I also did not injure myself at all. So it kept me really, really strong during that time. And I was not in pain at all. So to me, that was just super incredible because I am not a runner. And that was really, really incredible. That was a great story for me because I literally started running after I turned 40. And so that was a really great story for me to be able to experience that going from running without hydrogen water to running with hydrogen water. I injured myself. I walked the 5K and here I am running and feeling no pain, feeling amazing, and just going for it. And that was really, really exciting to me. So if you are into fitness and you want to be able to endure more and you want to be able to recover faster, I highly recommend the hydrogen water so that you can do even more. And if you're just getting started in working out, I recommend it for you too, because as we are first started working out, especially as we are older, just starting to work out, we can injure ourselves a lot easier than, the younger people. And we take longer to basically heal. And so the hydrogen water is actually a really great tool to have for working out. Like I said, it reduces oxidative stress in the body. It reduces inflammation in the body. So if you are feeling any kind of itis whatsoever, I highly recommend the hydrogen water. And so I hope this video has been helpful today. Like I said, we talked about fasting fitness and how hydrogen water can actually accelerate your health goals for you when it comes to fasting and fitness and how that works. And so I would love for you to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll post some links down in the description of how to get in touch with me if you'd like to work with me for the hydrogen bottle I recommend. And all of the things that I talked about in this video, I'll link in the description below. So thanks so much for tuning in, and here's to feeling amazing, one glass and one fast at a time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.